In order to understand the origin of abdominal pain and to understand the different nervous pathways involved in pain conduction, we will take a look at the autonomic nervous system. As you can see in the view here, we now can also see the thorax up here. We will take a look at the thorax as well, because the autonomic nervous system actually runs down from the skull and the head, which is located more up here, down towards the different organs. Here in the middle we can actually see the diaphragm. And just up from the diaphragm, here in the middle, we can see the heart. The heart is still located in its pericardial sac, which is protected by visceral fatty tissue. That's the yellow tissue we can see here. The organ we can see here is the left lung. The left lung is still in place. The right lung was originally placed here. So this is the right pleural cavity. But it has been opened in order to view the autonomic nervous system. First, we'll start with the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is mostly made up by the two sympathetic trunks. The sympathetic trunks are large branches of nervous tissue which actually run from the base of the skull up here, all the way down to the tailbone, way down here. We have two of these located on either side of the vertebral column, which is located way down the different tissues we can see here. And through this sympathetic trunk, all the sympathetic innervation reaches the various visceral organs. So first up, we'll take a look at the sympathetic trunk here in the right pleural cavity. In order to do this, we must open the mediastinal pleura covering the pleural cavity here. It has already been opened, so now I just have to move the pleura down a bit like this. So what I'm lifting now is the mediastinal pleura. And now we got a clear look on the compartment deep to the pleura. We can see some yellow fatty tissue. If you take a close look, we see a bluish white line, and this is actually the right sympathetic trunk. So the sympathetic trunk runs from the base of the skull, more superiorly, all the way to the tailbone, more inferiorly. And the sympathetic trunk actually only communicates with the spinal cord on the thoracic and lumbar levels. This communication is done through these very small branches. We can see one clearly here. These branches are called ramus communicans, and through such a ramus communicans, the communication is made with the spinal cord and the central nervous system. So the innervation reaches the sympathetic trunk through these different branches. We can see some more here and here. And from the sympathetic trunk, the innervation reaches the organs. And this connection is done through splanchnic nerves. Right here we can see a large splanchnic nerve emerge. So this is a thoracic splanchnic nerve. See another little branch here. And this actually forms the great splanchnic nerve. The great splanchnic nerve actually passes through the diaphragm, we can see here, and then reaches the abdomen, and then will locate itself around the celiac trunk to innervate most of the foregut. So this is the sympathetic nervous system in the thorax. We also have the parasympathetic nervous system, and most of this is done through the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve, of which we also have two, a left and right one, is located a bit more up here. So again, here we have the heart in its pericardial sac. You see a great blood vessel here. It's actually an artery, the common carotid artery, which feeds blood to the neck and the head. Blood is venously returned through this vein we can see here. This vein is the internal jugular vein. And when we look between these veins, I have to move the vein a bit. Now we get a clear look on this nerve here. This is the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve supplies most of the parasympathetic innervation, actually for most of the entire body. These two vagus nerve actually travel more down into the mediastinum, and they locate themselves around the esophagus, which is actually located behind the heart here. and the vagus nerve actually form a plexus around, so a network around the esophagus located here, and then they emerge again in the abdomen.